Welcome. You're here with us on Times Now, and I'm Heena Gambhir. And joining us today on Times Now is a very special guest. Somebody who is out there to carve a niche for himself. And given the kind of performance that we have seen of him in several films so far, we can very safely say that he is indeed a powerhouse of talent. I'm talking about Babil Khan. Thank you very much, Babil, for joining us here on Times Now.
Thank you for having me.
So what's easier, acting, shooting for a film, or promotions in these interviews?
None. None of them are easy, but I would say that promotions are easier because they are fun. They're more, they're more relaxed. They don't have to do with any riyaz. You don't have to do any riyaz to do promotions. But acting is more fun. Okay. I mean, that's the passion, right? I could go through any kind of hardship to do a scene.
And your upcoming film, Logout, it's already making waves globally. And you're playing a character called as Pratyush Dua, who is obsessed, with his phone, who is a social media influencer. Tell us a little bit about this character and what really drew you not just to the film but to the character.
Yeah, but first I would just like to apologize for the first, the first video I put on my story where I was like, Pratyush is Pratyush को unfollow करो. तो कुछ बहुत सारे प्रत्युष शायद unfollow हो गए या report हो गए, उनके लिए मैं माफ़ी चाहूँगा. उनको please unblock कर दो या unreport कर दो. लेकिन हाँ मैम, so social media is not something I related to, and something that I was not something that I didn't care about as a passion or as a job. So say like I wouldn't care about engagement, I wouldn't care about all of these things. But Pratyush, the inner desire of Pratyush of needing validation from outside and not his word not being enough for him, that the sentence make them notice you, that's all about us, how we trade our self-worth, self-respect, integrity, dignity for somebody else's opinion of you, and an image that is created by those opinions. And because of that, we attach our identity to that, and then we start comparing that identity, which is not us, which is just an opinion of others of you. And you've attached yourself to that, and now you're comparing that to everybody else's life, which is also untrue. And then you start hating yourself. Then you start projecting that hate onto other people. And this toxic cycle keeps continuing. So in that way, I felt really connected to Pratyush, but his job I didn't feel connected to. So I had to research for that. I had to research.
But isn't it something that we are seeing happening all around us?
Yeah, I would say so, yes.
And that makes a film like Logout extremely important in this day and age. And what is that one message that you want people to drive home when they watch it?
I have stayed very consistent with this fact that I don't want to give a message out because I don't want people to, go watch the film with a particular message so that they can receive as much as they can. Because once you give a message, it kind of puts blindfolds on you, right? But I would say that, social media, I would just like to mention that social media is not something to blame. It is not, of course, because we live in a world where capitalism governs everything and it consumes us almost. So the business model is such that you get addicted to that. It's like any other addiction. It's a dopamine hit that you get. It's scientifically. When you see a notification, you see someone liked your photo, or see someone liked your whatever post, feed, I don't know.
Story.
Yeah, jo bhi hai. So then because of that, you get addicted to that. Ab usko design वैसा किया गया है, that's not our fault. But we can overcome that and use that platform as something productive. Like you could use it to express your creativity, you could use it to express your poetry, you could use it to show people the different sides of you. But for that, you have to not care about what they think or what they feel. And that is a long journey that one must take. That your validation has to be, and that is, you have to be strong about that.
Yeah. But you yourself have got like 1 million plus followers on Instagram. So, I mean, is there pressure?
1.2
million, that was the last number that I checked. So
I don't
is
know.
there pressure on you? Is there pressure on you to create content, to keep up with the trends?
Yeah, I mean, nobody gives me pressure, but even a suggestion is something, because it doesn't come naturally to me. You know, I'm a very random person. Like I will post anything that I'm feeling, and once you, I think, get into some, I don't know what it is that makes you want to stop doing it, but for me, it was that I had to protect my vulnerability, because I started getting affected by the opinions of others a lot. You know, I started especially when it became not about me but about my family. You know, when all of the insults and the trolling became about my family, that's when I started getting affected a lot. So at that point, I realized that I was becoming defensive to myself. I was becoming I was losing my vulnerability. If I lost my vulnerability and my moral sense as a person, I feel like that could ruin my individuality. And once my individuality is gone, then I've become another clone. Then who am I?
So how did you deal with it?
I stepped back. Basically, do you remember when I don't know if you do, but there was a time when I used to like every single comment. I used to reply to everybody. And that was because at that time I used to use it to connect to people, to make sure, you know, Baba's loss is, I knew that it was a collective loss, it's not just my own. So I had to make sure that the memories I have that are secret to me gets shared with the people that feel the same loss, you know, feel that loss, that feel that pain. So I used to make sure that was the intention then, right? And then I started getting this strange sense of, like, people used to say that I'm using his name for my own benefit, which hurt me a lot. I was like, man, I'm trying to share this with you because I feel a sense of responsibility towards our loss as a culture.
And there is something that the audience does not know about him that you can bring to the audience.
Exactly. So but that started affecting my vulnerability at first. So then I stopped liking, stopped going through all of them, because I knew that a lot of them would be, I just assumed, you know, because after experience, I assumed that a lot of them would be about, I can't pay too much attention to that, because if I do that, then that affects my individuality, my vulnerability. And if that gets affected, then I can't put out what is actually important, that is my work.
Any specific comment perhaps that hit you hard?
It's very dark. I don't think I can say it on live TV, but it was very, very dark. Like, it was, if you hear it, you'll be like, what the heck? You won't be able to believe it. Like, and that was not just one comment; it was thousands.
Do you want to share anything? Something
I
that
can,
triggered?
but would you like it? I don't know if in live TV
was there too
hear
much
it.
of hate?
Hate. It was about. It was not only just hate, ma'am. It was hate I can handle, but mean-spirited, mean-spiritedness, a kind of a loss of soul, a loss of heart, a loss of individual, a loss of sense of human beings. You know, like how do I explain this to you? If I have to say, if I say the comment, it would be too dark for our listeners. Would you like me to say it, or do you want me to write it down for you?
I mean,
because it was about my father, about my family, and yeah, it was at a level you drop below being a human being, and you almost go into your animalistic instincts.
And these are faceless people.
Faceless people that know that they are faceless.
Yes,
yeah?
Anonymous accounts. Yeah. I mean, who would just come, say something without even thinking about, you know, how it might just impact people. So
yeah, but that's okay. That's the thing, right, ma'am? First, this is exactly what happened. That is that I started blaming them. First thing I did. That's a first reaction. Defend yourself. That's a survival mechanism.
Yes.
Let's blame them because. But that's not the way to grow. I feel like.
When was it? Which year?
This is the जो sorry बोल के मैंने कांड ये जो भी हुआ. When I said sorry, but then that whole thing started, and till it was about me, I was also laughing. They were good memes.
So how did you when I'm asking you how did you deal with it, as in I want to know, was there a support system? Was it your mother, your friends? How did you sort of learn to deal with it, not bother about such people?
Ma'am, I have firmly believed in this, and this has been my upbringing as well, that when you fall, yes, people, Mama's there, and you know, Baba used to be there, my brother's there, but the only person that can pick yourself up is you. Nobody else can do that for you. So I knew that I have to pick myself up. Support system, Mama was always there, of course. Ayan is studying, so of course, but he was there with me. But I just started to think about what is really important for me. What is my world outside? You know, because this career, this path, this legacy, everything started to consume me at that point. So I thought, what is important for me outside? And then I started to go back in time, and I was like, what did I enjoy? I started playing football again, and started going to scuba diving again. I stopped caring about what people think about my poetry, because I have poetry, man. And then I started singing again. I started recording music again after so long. After 2 years, I started properly recording music. I started writing my, writing my music again, and that gave me a life to live. And then when you have a life to live,
then you don't care about such things. Is that the reason why you changed your bio to Zamana to badlega,
nazariye ko khilne do? जी हाँ ज़माना है क्या? अच्छा
yes.
ज़माना बदलेगा, ज़माना तो बदलेगा.
But was that the reason that you wrote this?
It was that. It was a point of change in my life. That's so awesome that you do. Yeah, that's awesome.
Well, I also read a little bit of poetry. So
that's awesome. Thank you. Thank you for bringing that up. But yeah, it was the point of change.
You wrote this?
Yes, I did. I wrote this.
Okay.
It was the point of change when I realized that, oh my God, my perspective is all that mattered. Life will keep throwing challenges at me. Life will keep that is the job. That is the point of life. You go through challenges and you should fall on your face. You have to humiliate yourself to learn. But the way you take it, the way you approach your challenges, your humiliations, your failures, the way you look at it is what you will become.
We thought that maybe that was a message to those who would often compare you to your father in the film industry.
No.
Because one of the comments had something like this. Yeah.
नहीं. ऐसा मुझे पता ही नहीं. वो that I stopped reading. I only read one. Just shout out to Prince. The Asli comment is there, and it's just because since the first day I've had that comment. Since the first day I became a public account, I've had him. And he's, so just shout out to him. That comment I always respond. Okay. But yeah, ma'am, it was not about anything to do with my father. It was about the fact that, times will change. Life will keep throwing you challenges. But let your perspective, the way you see things grow, blossom.
Do you think maybe star kids are easy targets because you're out there and people think it's their right to question everything you do, everything you say?
Yeah, I don't think it's an easy target or a hard. I think everybody's a target now. You, just for the sake of getting hits, getting likes, getting attention on, you do not consider the humanity of two people.
Who's your mentor right now in the industry?
My mentor is Rachit Singh and Shujit Sirkar.
Okay.
Yeah. My mentor is, he taught me, Rachit taught me, basically after Baba passed away, all the lessons that Baba had taught me about stillness, about breathing, about all the things that could connect the life lessons to acting, Rachit built that bridge. So yeah, I mean, I would not be able to do anything without Rachit Singh. He really showed me a way where I can explore acting instead of doing it as a job or instead of doing it out of pressure.
I think with the kind of films you've done so far, and because you create content for social media as well, I mean, whether you like it or not, but you are a social media influencer because you have 1.2 million plus followers.
But I don't influence anything. What do I influence?
I mean, people do follow you, that is why. So I want to ask you, do you now see yourself as an individual, as an actor, or do you still think people in the industry and otherwise also still compare you a lot with your father? There are high expectations.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's a good question, ma'am. But the thing is that I don't. Do you know What's in a Name by Shakespeare?
Yes.
Though it's like your identity, is it that important? You know what I mean? Or is it the work and actions that you do? Are they more important, or is your identity more important? Yes, identity could be a tool to promote better actions, but if you get too caught up in your identity, then your actions will suffer.
But has that perception about you changed now? Has it started changing?
I don't think so. I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, people do compare me with my father a lot still, and I don't really mind that. I think when the time comes, it's up to life when, you know, it decides to. And even if it doesn't, how does it matter? I will keep working and I will keep trying to do my best. Because I genuinely care.
One thing you learned from him about acting, about the industry, how to survive in an industry like this.
I'll tell you this one thing about, because you said about the industry, right? Because the first time I mentioned to Baba, after a long time of introspection, that I want to be an actor. He was terrified because he had gone through a lot of humiliation, poverty. We were poor people when he started off in this industry. He struggled for 35 years, you know, before anything happened. So like he had come from this, and Mama and Baba would, both of them, you know, would struggle together and go through a lot of humiliation. So he did not, perhaps he was scared for his child to go through that humiliation. But then again, he also brought me up as a person that he's like, go fall on your face. I'll be there. I'll stand. I'll be there. I'll give my hand to you. But you need to fall. You need to fall on your face. You need to keep experiencing failures so that you know how to grow. First time you experience failure, you be like, this is bad. But the 10th time you experience failure, it would be something else. Then the 20th time would be something else. By the time you've experienced so many failures, you'll be playing with failures to grow. It's all a game. It's all, you know, it's a game.
And when you actually entered into the industry, he wasn't there. So did you feel that sense of loss, or you think that he prepared you enough to deal with the industry, to deal with the world?
Yeah, I mean, of course, if anybody could prepare somebody like he did and Mama did, to me, I don't think there could be more preparation, but I will always feel lost. Always. And it's not about, sometimes it's not even about the preparation or what I'm going through as an actor in the industry. It's more about just wanting him to be there, to see the journey, you know, to be like, I'm doing it.
What do you think he would have said today, seeing your journey so far? Because so, you know him more than any of us.
So, Mama told me as well, right? When I was going through that dark period where family was getting involved in the picture of trolling, you know, Mama was like, does it look like I care? I was like, no. Do you think Baba would have cared? I was like, definitely not. I was like, then why do you care? And then she was like, what a mother. She's like, go clean beaches, you know, go scuba dive, go plant 500 trees with Jackie Dada. Just go do that, you know, go do the real legacy. His real legacy was about nature and about the, you know, the growth of that. It was not just acting. If you see in his acting as well, the surrender he's into the moment and letting nature flow through him in that moment. He was a nature's man. And I think acting is just a part of his legacy. I need to, you know, plant trees. I need to build, like, name a forest after him that I have planted. And I need to clean more beaches. I need to go to Andaman. I need to find more species. I don't know what, but I need to go explore the world.
Well, he was clearly one of the finest actors in the entire industry, we can say. And we love all his films. I personally loved all his films. Which was your favorite? And if there was a remake, which one you think you would like to be a part of?
Ma'am, I would want, in a remake, I would like to act besides him, but I would never like to play the character that he played.
Okay.
Because I think he did it with as much sincerity as anybody. Like, he was 100%, 1000% sincere to, you know, the moment. So I don't think I would like to. He already did that.
But I
would love to act with him. Oh my God, I would love to act with him. That
your
would be
favorite
amazing.
film of
I could give you a top 5 if you
Okay,
want. But,
that would be great.
One is not enough. I think I would say Lunchbox is one of his.
My favorite too.
Yeah, it's just because people don't understand, and also the Jugalbandi with Nawaz Bhai is just incredible.
Yes.
I think it's one of the best co-actors coexisting together in this story, just doing their job so sincerely and so well, and all of that reaches to the audience, and I really, really enjoy that film. Oh my God, I'm getting scenes, like the scenes are going in front, the train scene is going, the tiffin scene is going. Okay, sorry. I'll tell you. First is Lunchbox, and then second is Pansing. Pansing because of the arc that he pulled off, you know, and the weight that he gained after, you know, he had this innocence in his rebellion, and then that rebellion had a whole entire motive.
Yes.
You know, and that was a beautiful film. But in Lunchbox, man, the thing is, like, people don't notice one thing is that the weight that he was carrying on his shoulders of losing his wife, that was the only person that he had ever loved, and the guilt of not loving, appreciating her enough when she was there, you know. So that weight that he carried throughout the film, every day I have seen him. You know, I've seen him come back home, still have that weight. Go to shoot, still have that weight. In Treatment, ma'am, it was an HBO series where he plays. It's just it's Gabriel Burns and him, and it's this conversation. Oh my, the amount of, you know, the intensity of emotions that he just kept within himself and carried with himself, and did not, you know, have one moment of complacency through that. That's a big thing. In Treatment. Fourth, I would say Madari, because of just the sense of losing a child. And it's the same for me, like sense of losing a father, right? Yeah. And I'll tell you that later. I'll tell you something later. But
Okay.
yeah. So there's Madari, and then I would say so many, ma'am.
So many. Maqbool,
Heather, Life of Pi.
करीब
Single. Ma'am, कैसे आप नहीं कर सकते? ऐसे एक में नहीं होगा. Kareeb Single was one of his best, and even Song of Scorpions, Kissa.
Yes.
Song of Scorpions and Kareeb Single had this lightness in him, you know. He just floating
and he could,
in a scene.
fit into the characters with so much of ease.
Yeah.
I mean, that was like amazing. You know, I'm completely out of time, but I have to quickly also ask you one question on Logout. Yes. You know, you're this very soft-spoken person as we are interacting right now, but seeing the trailer, you had to scream, and there were those powerful scenes and everything. So was it challenging?
No.
Getting into the character, or did it have some shades of you, Babil Khan, as well?
Yeah, it did. I mean, I would. Thank you for calling me Babil.
Babil Khan.
No, but Babil is great. I mean, I want to be Babil.
You're quite Babil.
Thank you. That's the thing. I loved it. But it was just that, ma'am, it's my job, first of all. Also, second, I love to do it. It's hard. It's difficult because I have to go to parts of me that I don't want to go, you know, the pain and the anxiety and all of these things that on a daily basis I consciously put away. I have to go in there and live that one day for 22 days, because it was a 26-day schedule which we finished in 22 days, because we were wrapping up scenes, like 10, 12 scenes we were doing, and I'm the only person. So Amit sir is an extremely good executioner. Like, he's the executioner. He's an extremely good. He executes the script to like the maximum potential. I did not realize that we were going so fast because I was so much into it. So he would come and he'd make me laugh. It's an experience, ma'am. I wouldn't say it was
the
negative.
Toughest scene was?
The toughest was when when you watch the film, ma'am. There's a scene where I mention my father in the character's father, not Irrfan, but I mention, you know, the character's father, and you'll know that scene where it's on a terrace basically, and that was one of the toughest scenes to do because I had to pull from very, very negative emotions inside me. Negative is not the right word to denote to an emotion, but emotions that disturb or you know, little shake my soul. So I had to go there and I had to live that, and I had to just keep doing it. But for some reason, I love doing that because it shows you that the shades of you that you deny and you don't accept are still there within you. You must just breathe and choose not to be that. Like as an individual, as Babil, I choose not to be those shades. But there is every shade of every human being within us. All the characters we can find within us. Just have to accept ourselves, you know.
Well,
you don't
absolutely.
have to become a character.
Well,
you are the character.
You're so young, but so inspiring. I mean, you know, talking to you makes me feel that how experiences in life really shape you as an individual.
That is true.
Wonderful talking to you, Babil Khan. And we wish you good luck for your film. And looking forward to see many more. By the way, you were great in Kala.
Ji. Ma'am, all props to Anvita, ma'am.
It was amazing.
I just want to make sure I thank her every time Kala is mentioned because I just don't know. Tripti is one of the best co-actors you could ever find.
And you were outstanding.
Yeah,
so all the best for
Anvita,
Logout and many more films in the industry. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.
What
Thank
a
you
lovely
very
time.
much.
Journalism